Okay, so your first problem was y equal to 3 sine x, and so this was the first curve. Let me call it y1, and then I have the second curve. Let's call it y2. This is 2 square root of x. You also know, so obviously you got to find the area between those two curves. Now you also know that 3 sine x is equal to 2 square root of x only for those 2 points, for 0, 0, and for 0.48 and 1.386. So in those two scenarios, okay, so those are the 2 points, I should say. Now if you represent those two curves, okay, you know perfectly well that if this is the point 3, okay, this is negative 3, so your sign will go somehow like this, and then down, right, and then up again. Now in this scenario here, so obviously you know that this is 3, and you know that your sign maximizes a pi over 2. So if this is pi over 2, okay, this means this is 1.57, right? So 3.14 over 2 means this number here. So you know what the x is, okay? So because those two curves meet at 0.0, obviously both of them go through this point here, and the second point is a 0.48. So this means that happens before here, because this is 157. So maybe, I don't know, if this is, we divided by 3, let's say that this is your 0.48, right? So at this point your y is going to be the 1.3. So this is basically this value here, okay? And you can double check everything, so you know that your square root of 0.48, if I turn it on, so your square root of 0.48, what the heck, square root is this, 0.48, okay, times 2, okay, so this is the number there, okay? Okay, so we know this. Now when, so your point of your situation at this point is just to find out, so you know that the integral has to be calculated in this little interval here. Now you just need to know, and my picture obviously doesn't help at all, you got to find out which one is the curve that is higher, right? Because you got to go for the higher minus the lower, obviously the highest minus the lowest. So how would you do? For example, take a point between 0 and 0.48 and see which one is highest. So calculate the y for the sine, and the same for this. So take a point 0.3, for example, for those two curves, okay? So if you substitute 0.3 here, okay, what do you have? What y do you have? So the y, okay, when x is 0.3 would be, okay, so we got to do sine of 0.3 and then times 3, so you have a 0.0157, 0.0157, and instead do the same for y2 at the same 0.3 and see which one is highest. So this is 2 times the square root of 0.3, and this is a 1.095. So makes sense that this one actually is higher. So you have this bigger than this. So again, the picture is really weird, okay, especially for how I do it, but this is what is going to happen. So at this point you know that the integral, okay, has to be calculated between 0 and 0.48, obviously, okay, and you got to do the highest, which is the 2 square root of x minus the 3 sine x in the x. So this is definitely valid. Now you could try to do the same value here for y. So if you consider now this one as a x1 and this one as a x2, you will find that x1, okay, x1 is equal to y over 3. One second. So let me recap it here. Okay, so you have y1, there is 3 sine x1. So this means that y1 over 3 is equal to sine x1, which means that x1 is equal to arc sine negative 1 of y1 over 3. Okay, so this. Okay, then you can do the same for the other curve. So y2 is going to be 2 square root of x2. So this means that y2 squared over 4 is equal to x2. So at this point you can do the integral. Obviously now you got to go for the y. So between 0 and 1.386. But watch out, because according to how the picture is not nice, you can try again with the y's and see which one is actually highest, which one is bigger, the sine or the square root. And you will find that this time the sine is bigger. So you will do the sine negative 1 of y1 over 3 minus the y2 squared, you're not seeing anything, y2 squared over 4. Okay, this is in dy. Okay, so I hope that this one makes sense, and I'm about to record the second answer for you.